when they get a hold of the game.
Definitely been one of the more popular ones over at the booth, as well as Ali Tyson. Every once in a while we get a hardcore fan that wants to see some of the other champions, but this has definitely been really popular. Obviously we choose these guys a lot because it really shows off a lot of things we've done in round 4, and that's the physics system, inside-outside fighting, height and reach making a difference. The fact that one clean punch can really change the outcome of a fight. So a guy like Mike Tyson, we've actually had some, we did the EA press conference, and I wasn't supposed to knock Jeff out, Jeff Etienne's the line producer, and I knocked him out, and it was totally, I was like, I actually put my hand in my mouth. I was kind of shocked and scared, but you know, just because you never know, you get the right counter move going and you hit him with a big hook, somebody's going to go right down. So
it looks like you definitely got the little peekaboo style that he's like a little shook when he comes in. With
and that's something that we had to do when we first started sort of working with the physics system, and we had the inside-outside. Once we made the guys the right height, well, Ali had this advantage of being able to hit you with the stick from a distance, and then we had to actually add in that weave motion on the left analog stick so you could move forward and move your head at the same time, because the old way of doing it in round 3 was you had to plant your feet, and that's the only way you could move your head. So we had that little gesture on the left analog that lets you weave in underneath a jab or a straight right and then counter right away with the hook. And it works really well a lot of the time if you time it just right.
Nice. Now, to let the folks at home know, you are no rookie when it comes to Fight Night. You've actually worked on previous versions of the game, correct?
Yeah, actually, my first gig as an assistant producer was on Fight Night 2004. So I have a bit of a history with the franchise. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm really happy to be back for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Is it hard, especially Fight Night Round 3, I think everybody would agree, was a stellar, fantastic game. Is it definitely hard to come in? Is it pretty intimidating to try to build on top of something like that? Or was it easy because it's already there and like you could see what you want to do?
Well, we knew we had our work cut out for us because, number one, and while they're in the instant replay right there and they're showing off some of the visuals, one of our biggest concerns, I think, was Fight Night Round 3 was a game that people said, wow, this is what next gen looks like. The graphics blew everybody away. But it ran at 30 frames a second, so their performance budget was quite a bit higher. We knew that to get the speed and the responsiveness and the fluidity that we wanted, we have to run at 60. But at the same time, we wanted to take steps forward in the visuals. And that's like, the analogy I've said before, it's kind of like, you go to Ferrari and you say, that's a great Ferrari. Can you make one twice as fast that gets twice as good gas mileage?
Like, what?
And like, well, no, we just made one. It's awesome. But that's what we had to do. And, obviously 60 frames per second, it's smooth. And visually, the graphics, if you don't mind me saying, they're really quite stunning. Especially when the great thing about it is that the game really comes to life when you play it. It doesn't just make great screenshots, but when you're playing, the muscles are flexing in real time. All the facial deformation, the sweat, the spit, and the blood that goes flying off their face is all driven by the physics engine, and it's different, it's dynamic every single time. So it really makes the fight, an organic, evolving experience. It's really fun to watch, and it's great to play.
Yeah, I definitely freaked out the first time I turned the demo on. I think that was the funny thing. Check this out. You'll love this story. You'll be the only person you guys were the only people that appreciate this. We packed up Thursday night, right? Thursday night, that was the night it came out, right?
Yes.
All right, so Thursday night we were packing up to come down to here. And so we packed up until literally 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Just dead bone tired. Just think about that. And we had to be back there at I think it was 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something crazy. Yeah. So literally it was going to be like a 2-hour night worth of sleep. Been averaging that apparently for about a week and a half. The funny thing is I get home and I knew that demo came out, right? So here, the question I'm asking myself as I'm driving home, am I really going to download that thing and try it? Or am I going to go to bed? And sure enough, obviously you know the answer, right? All right, I'm going to download it while I'm brushing my teeth and getting ready for bed. One round. So yeah, it's definitely a very attractive game. And yeah, you're right. It's beautiful. The first time you see Pacquiao come on there, it looks fantastic. So what about let's get into the actual new mechanics, because Haymaker, you changed it.
Well, Haymakers have changed. That's something where, we did do a lot of analysis of Fight Night Round 3, because, to be perfectly honest, we were all huge fans of the game. We played it a lot when we were in, obviously, the concept and pre-production phases. We played Fight Night Round 3 a lot. And there's a lot of things where that was helpful, because, just from our, just repeated playing and playing and playing, we were able to identify, well, what are the things that we wish were a little bit different? And one thing I found just ergonomically was that the Haymaker system on Round 3 was really easy for me to throw left haymakers, but right haymakers were really hard, because just getting your thumb to go back and around was really tough. So it's almost like you knew if a guy's throwing a haymaker, it was going to be left, and you knew to block that way, etc. So we just decided to simplify it, make it more accessible. just put the haymaker modifier on a shoulder button, and then you throw a hook or an uppercut, you add a little bit of steam to it, and it lets you vary your game up. You can throw left, right, uppercut, or hooks. So
Change the I guess the impact, not necessarily in terms of the force, but literally just the amount of because the haymaker was definitely a fight changer.
yes, but it's definitely. I mean, the other thing about it is that because the whole game itself runs much faster, it's much more responsive. You'll find that it's not as easy to land haymakers in this game as it was in round 3, because your ability to get your head out of the way is much better. And that's really where that was a perfect example of it on screen right there. And it actually showed another, the weave mechanic. Ali just weaved right under Tyson's hook and then rocked them right back. But yeah, the head movement is so much more responsive, and the game is really about timing now as opposed to placement. You know, in round 3, the parry system worked that if I just held my hand up here, I could have been holding it up here for